What are the dynamics of a family? Some people say the dynamics of a family are a mother, a father, sister, and a brother. Some people say it's your grandparents. Some people say it's just the people who love you. Family can be even your dog being part of your family. It's still family, right? People sometimes are very hard to understand. You might even grow up around them, and then soon or one day you find out that your father is not your father. That man was there because you were to inherit some money, and he knew that if his name were on your birth certificate, and if people automatically knew or assumed that he was your father, then he'd have access to it. You turn 18 and you're supposed to receive a certain amount of money. You receive absolutely nothing. Throughout your entire lifetime, people have been using your money to go on vacation, using your money to pay mortgages, your money to do everything. All these things are going on in plain sight. As children, I stated earlier, we were nobody's children. Nobody really cared until it was time to clean up. It's time for you to clean the house. It's time for you to get in the kitchen and cook some food. Your childhood was not your childhood. Your childhood was everyone else's childhood, because you never got to play those games. Poisoned as a child because you knew too much. People putting poison in your food. And then later on, when you become an adult, they actually say that you've done drugs. I wouldn't touch drugs if you paid me to touch them. Everybody knows I don't drink and I don't smoke. Everybody knows that from my children, meaning my students, the children that I grew up with, the adults that I grew up with, because everybody's an adult now. You'd ask my younger brother, the person who I say I grew up to think that that was my younger brother. All these family members, but the minute you call out a dollar, they will take that dollar to move forward and turn against you. Now, it is horrible that you would even find out in such a way, but that's life. Ever since I was little, I was making predictions. I made a prediction once as a child that had everybody spinning on their head. I didn't realize that I wasn't supposed to speak out and say what I saw. But then the person ended up dying less than a week later, exactly the way that I said it. I didn't know the strength of the tongue at the time. Even now, I'm kind of surprised, even when you speak up and you say certain things, how people react. In this lifetime, we are all going to be faced with certain decisions in which we must make. When we make those decisions, we have to live by what it was that we said or did. Now, I know that that is not my father. He stood in certain ways. But I did not realize that a lot of this stuff was financially motivated. Somebody tells me that I'm not protected. There are grown men ready to unalive me because I walked away and I had to separate from my family because I was directed spiritually to step away. That I was hindering people from learning their life lessons because I was there protecting them and helping them and always being there. As family members, when we love someone, we will protect them. We will do all sorts of things to make sure that they are okay. But see, God has a lesson for everyone. And everyone's here on this earth educational life plane. And on this life plane, on this learning plane, we are to learn on our own. You're not supposed to have anyone there redirecting the show. Because if God wants you to learn the lesson, you are the student. God wants them to learn a lesson, they are the student. You cannot protect them from their fate. I've done it all my life, taking care of my younger siblings. When my stepmother was getting her master's degree, taking care of those children and putting them to bed, making sure they were in bed before she got home, and ate, and they had to make sure that they were fed. I had to make sure they were fed before they went to bed. And if that did not happen, she showed me who she was. See, there's a lot of truths that have not come out yet. Everybody wants to play around with this is perfect family. It is not. By far. Now, I stepped away because I was directed to step away, and people got upset, gang stalking me, sending people after me, sending people to try to poison me. I'm at a restaurant, and all of a sudden, the menu changes. So I can only get the item of surprise, let's call it. My sister signing my signature. I know whose signature it is immediately because that's not my handwriting, and I know her handwriting. You see, my older sister has my mother figure's handwriting. She would never do that. She wouldn't even think to do such a thing. But the younger one, now that might be a little different. You see, when my stepmother would leave, I had to take care of that house, even sometimes when she was there. But when she chose to leave because she and my father were having their own problems, I had to cook and clean and act as though I were the parent, the mother figure in the household. I didn't have a child. And as I did all the cleaning or what have you, I'm going to be honest with you, I loved my siblings, and I would not have had any differently probably. But I was a protector, always have been. My job was to protect my younger sister. My brother's job, my older brother's job, was to protect his brothers. You see, people forget so easily all the sacrifices that were made in their honor. Didn't even invite me to the wedding or the baby shower. And that's fine too. Because what it is you have one, it's like you have an angel on one side, one shoulder, and a devil on the other. The stepmother coming home. Every time she came home, she turned my little sister against me. After all the work that I did and trying to make sure that everything was taken care of while she was away. While she was trying to find herself. Everybody forgets. It's so easy to forget the sacrifices that were made in your honor. Every time they go down south. I remember one year, all we had was a jar of mayo and chicken. And I had to fry that chicken the best way I could to make sure it was ready for that trip going down south. I was only 11 years old and I was cooking up a storm. That's when everybody was still eating meat too. It is important that you realize that people make sacrifices for you just like you make sacrifices for others. Before my grandfather left, his intentions were to leave the money to me. He left the money to me because of the sin that he committed when I was a child. He thought that this would grant him the ability to get into heaven after he'd gone on. Everybody knew what happened to me that day. My grandmother went to cook some grits in the kitchen and left me in the bedroom with her. Yet they refused to take me to the hospital to get checked out. Now, I don't know how or why God made certain decisions that he made in regards to me being a part of his family. But I do know that one of the reasons was to be the family curse breaker. And I've been doing that. This is part of it. I am making the sacrifices, and I've made sacrifices. I've raised my younger siblings. I've cooked and cleaned. I've even made Thanksgiving before my uncle, my grandmother's brother, passed away for Thanksgiving. I made all my vegetarian food and packed it up and brought it to the house so that everybody could eat the food. I made the vegetables, the macaroni and cheese. I made the whole shebang, vegetarian style though. almost had a fight with his daughter in the kitchen because she thought I was trying to steal her shine. Because she made ham and ribs and all that other stuff. I told her my family does not eat that. I brought this food so that they can have something to eat. Oh, that's when she put the knife down. I got to fight to help. And then when I finally brought the food in and I'm preparing the food, they said, you ain't bring nothing to drink? The situation here is, I can forgive all of you, but I'm freeing myself at this point. I'm letting it be known exactly what happened, so that when I leave, you cannot even say that I didn't try. And even if you do choose to say it, I'm clearing the air and I'm moving forward. I didn't do anything against all of you, yet you plotted and planned against me. You thought it was fit for people to play in my energy and steal from me. Oh yeah, this is the daughter that didn't even belong to the family, but made the sacrifices for this family, only to be sacrificed again. If you choose to play in my energy, gang stalking, I surely had that woman in the house. It's dark in the house and she's there trying to convince me to get life insurance so that you can see me sign my name on paperwork, so that you can use that against me later. Oh no. My spirit guides are here. My angels too. Making sure that I'm protected at all times. Everybody doesn't have to believe in that, but God helped me to believe. Everybody going to the professor, now you turned out to be atheist. If you didn't believe, then why were you even there? Going to Heather's party, and I asked you for my best friend's number because she changed her number, and we've not spoken in a while. You go to her house, go for the party, come back and act as though you don't have her telephone number. How did you get to the party, Daddy? See, the family dynamics, excuse me. We are all waking up to so many things that have happened in clear sight. There's so many things that a family can do against one individual. I say that you need to be asking God for forgiveness at this point. I'm just clearing the air. And I am going to walk away, forgiving and loving you all the same, but not having to deal with it. Because if you would steal from me, if you try to hurt me, or you try to unearth me, that tells me automatically that there is no love. Mimicking and practicing on how you're going to react when the authorities knock on the door and say that I was no longer around. Who does that? Forgive yourselves. Because I'm going to forgive you and I'm going to walk away. May God have mercy on all of your souls for wanting to do so much to a person who only wanted to love you. I delivered food. I took even the money that we were getting paid with COVID. Spent all my money on trying to help you guys become vegans, hoping that it would cleanse your blood and it would help you to be better people, to cleanse some of you from your drug addiction, to cleanse some of you from some of the sicknesses that you had. Call me all hours of the morning and night, talking about your problems of being sick, and me trying to do research and finding ways in which to cure you. And yes, that is something that I love doing. But I love to do it as well because I love you, my family. You didn't think it was hard for me to walk away? I kept asking why? But I moved away just the same, because when God tells you to do something, you're not supposed to ask why. You're supposed to step out on faith. You're supposed to know why. And if you don't know why, you just step out and you do what you're told. Just as I was asked to do as a child. Don't question your parents. Don't question your grandparents. Don't do what you're told. And I did all that. But I'm an adult now, and I'm putting away my childish ways to move forward. You all knew, going to my job, going to my job, I'm having to move from job to job because you guys want to come and harass the people, get me fired from one job or another, make me become homeless to where I have to go ahead and fend for myself and refocus. I don't have the money because you guys want me to have to come and cry to you while you steal my money behind my back. What kind of family would do such a thing and have me stranded? You did this to me as a child, making me always have to beg you for things. I paid for my own college tuition. I paid my way, and I took care of other people, other people's children as well. And this is what I have to deal with. May God have mercy on all of your souls. Because you all knew what happened to me that day. Didn't even take me to the doctors. None of you have ever taken me to the doctors or the dentist with all the stuff that I had to go through. My stepmother saying, I'm going to put you on my dental insurance. Come help me clean up this room. You pay me a little, some money to help you clean up the house or to clean up your room so that you can have peace in your room. But you never thought this child might need to go to the dentist. This child might need to go to the doctors. Joe and I were never given that honor. And we were raised with grandparents, raised with aunts and uncles. Now, my mother, yes, she did have certain things to do. Perhaps she could have stepped in. You guys said she was in a crazy house. All these different stories you tell children. I'm freeing myself right here by saying all that happened so that I can move forward. A father figure telling people that I'm crazy. Honey, you have not seen crazy. I'm the most calmest person you know. Anytime I get upset, the tears start to come. But that was those days. No, not anymore. I'm not shedding another tear. I'm moving forward and trying to live my life as free as I can. As free as I can be. And for the individual who's been stealing my stories and deciding that he wants to publish my information, that's a lawsuit. Should have asked my permission. All of you, God is going to hold you accountable for your part and what you did in this story. And I'm going to walk away free because this has been a prison. May God have mercy on all of your souls. And yes, I forgive you at this point.